Tomorrow I will be taking my MCAT.
I don't mind letting you down easy, but just give it time. If it don't hurt now, just wait a while. You're not the big fish in the pond no more. Said you are worth it feeding on. So what are you gonna do when the world don't orbit around you? Yeah. No. So what are you gonna do when the world don't orbit around you? No.
Hey double major, welcome back to my channel. What's poppin', 10. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Brelynn. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring the bell that way you don't miss a notification from me, and follow me on my social media at brelynn.hunt. Post-grad pre-med, and I have been studying for the MCAT for the past 5 months, and tomorrow I will be taking my MCAT. I have been a post-grad pre-med for a couple of years now, and like I mentioned in my last video, if you haven't seen it, make sure you watch that one, because it was all the things that I did leading up to this day, this moment, this second actually, because I just ended the last vlog. This is my 4th rodeo. This is my 4th time taking the MCAT. I would have never thought, dreamed in my nightmares that I would be doing this again. I remember the last time I took the MCAT, I was so sure that it was going to be the last one, and one of my prayers was just like, Lord, like just make it enough, like let whatever it is, I'm not going to ask you for a number or a score, just like let it be enough. And unfortunately it wasn't, and I've tried so many different things on my journey to medicine, trying to get into medical school, and last year I came to the conclusion, if you guys watch my podcast, that this test for me was a form of spiritual warfare, and that I had to release myself from the shackles that it was having on my mind and on my future, and go back to the drawing board, restudy, and take the exam. Now, I went into this season really believed that I could do it. I was at this score last time I took it, and I only studied for 6 weeks, so if I study for another 6 to 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks, I should be able to bump up the score even more, and that should get me where I need to be, and then, you know, things will actually start moving. You guys have seen that this has been such a roller coaster. After I took my first diagnostic test, first of all, I tried to do like self-studying. That immediately was way too difficult for me. Sorry you guys, it's kind of getting dark in here. This is the night before the exam, so you know what, that's a good motivation for me not to make this intro too long, because I'll be sitting here yapping and it'll be pitch black. I should have brought my little light, but it's okay, it's fine. Anyway, what was I saying? I did not think it would be this hard for me to study for this exam. I knew it was a beast, I knew it was hard. It was why I was avoiding it for so long and why I tried to go around it, but even going through it was still really, really difficult. And I can't wait to kind of like watch back all of my vlogs, my podcasts, after I take the exam and sit with it for a while, or probably also too once I get my score back, to kind of really articulate like what this season was for me. And I've sacrificed a lot for it. I've trusted God, and I am trusting God during it. It's been a long journey and it's been hard. I'm excited that it'll be over tomorrow, but I actually have to like do the thing tomorrow, you know? Tomorrow I will be taking my MCAT. I'm trying my best, especially here now. We are like exactly 12 hours away from test moment. I don't even want to focus on the negative things that have happened, the negative thoughts that I could have, the negative things that have set me back. I just want to focus on where we're at now, what we can do now. I've done so much leading up to tomorrow, but what only matters is what happens tomorrow. Like, I could study for 6 months or 6 days, but as long as I show up on my test date ready to go with all the information, like as long as it's there that day, that's all that matters. So my range has been also very wide this study time, and I'm comparing myself to my previous self, because sometimes I look back, especially as a first generation college graduate and the first person in my family to become a doctor, I'm doing so much of this stuff with so much support, but I'm just going in blind. And so sometimes I look back at my younger self and I'm like, I wish you would have done this. Like, why didn't you know this? How I feel a lot about like the MCAT. First time I took it, I was nowhere near ready. I didn't study enough. And unfortunately, that still goes down as a strike. And every time somebody looks at my application, I have to show them that MCAT attempt. I wish I could like wipe it out or they could only see your last attempt, but they don't. They see that. A lot of times I think about my previous MCAT experiences, get the good from it, and also make sure I'm changing the bad or the not so wise decisions that I made. And while still giving baby Brelynn the grace that she literally didn't know and she was trying her absolute best, like I honor her try and I save space for her. I just want to be better for her. That way, what I've gone through and what she's gone through and all the iterations of her, all that we've done is worth it. And that all depends on what I do tomorrow. So making sure that I am speaking life into my situation and thanking God in advance for being patient with me throughout my journey of believing and trusting. There's a lot of rambling. I'm sure you guys want to know my pre-MCAT thoughts. I cannot wait. I'm taking my exam on May 31st. It's like I cannot wait till June 1st. When June 1st hits, baby, I'm gonna be outside. Like, that's how I feel. But even while I was studying, I kept having to remind myself, like, you can't want it to be over so bad that you're not doing the work in the moment, because then it's gonna be over and then that initial relief is gonna be gone, and then in a month you're gonna get your score back and be like, I wish I would have. I don't want any regrets. I want to be like, I literally tried my absolute best. Up until this point, that's genuinely how I feel. I've tried my best. I've used the resources that I've been able to have. I've spent my time. I've made sacrifices. I tried to be as kind to my mind and my body as I could. And I've tried to set myself up for success. So I'm trusting God, and now it's literally in His hands. And so it is the night before my MCAT. 7:30. I'll be walking across the street to the testing center, which is why I'm here at the hotel, by the way. If you're wondering, or if you didn't watch the last vlog, or if you're new here or whatever, I have recently moved out of DC, and so I didn't want to have to drive in early in the morning during rush hour traffic before my exam. So I got a hotel here. And I've had a full day. I have my breakfast meal prepped. I just ate my dinner and I showered. And now I'm just gonna do a couple more studying. I'm gonna pray, I'm gonna go to sleep. And I don't even know what time I wanna wake up in the morning. I think around 6 is good enough time for me to eat breakfast and like do some review. I didn't study today. Yesterday was my last full study day. Again, I talked about that in the last vlog. The light is this way, so. Okay, perfect. The lighting is much better. Now I can talk more. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, I just wanted to start off the vlog. By the way, there is a thunderstorm warning. Not even a warning, like it's thunderstorming outside, as you guys just heard. Anyway, thanks for being here. Hope you stick around. And in order to do that, you have to subscribe, because we have y'all, this is literally, it's crazy because I've been on this journey for a long time, but God willing, this is the year. This is just the beginning, and I would love for you to be around for that. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you all in the morning for MCAT day. Glory be to God, we have made it. It's about 6:30. I'm gonna review my mouth down review sheets until about 7:15, and then I'm gonna heat up my breakfast. I really wish I had a microwave in my room, because I mean, at least I have access to a microwave and I don't have to technically like see or speak to anybody, but I just wish that I could just do it here in my room. But I will have to go downstairs, warm up my breakfast, and then come back up and eat. And I think I'm gonna head over at like 7:45, because a 2-minute walk away from the testing center, and I want as much time before 8 o'clock. Once I get there, I can't review, I can't be on my phone, I can't do anything but just sit there. And so I want to get there closer to 8 and like try and get there super early, because you know that there's like a process to check it and stuff. Probably won't speak to you all for the rest of the morning. I'll just show you all what I do, and we'll talk when I get back from my exam, just so that I can stay focused. You guys saw pretty much my routine so far, except for I don't think I showed you all my devotion. Yeah, I mean, I didn't sleep great last night. It was hard going to sleep, and then I woke up in the middle of the night because the toilet made a weird noise. That's the con to sleeping somewhere that's like not your home, not your bed. And I think I was just like, you know, anxious. Like it happened at like 1:13 a.m. and I literally was like, what is that? And I got up and I was like, what is that noise? And I just kept dreaming about the exam, like formulas and all types of stuff. Like my mind isn't really rested. So I do have my Celsius energy pack in here, and this is going to be mainly what I drink before. I also have electrolytes in my water. During my breaks and lunch, I'll drink that. That's the morning vibes. This is what I end up choosing for my exam day outfit. I could not decide what I wanted to wear. I feel like sometimes the hood chokes me and you can't have your hood up during the exam, but I do love the long sleeves. I'm gonna do my last bit of studying before eating breakfast and heading to the testing center. I'll talk to you guys later. I feel so numb right now. I'm like, wait, it's over? Like when I did my last problem, I was like, so I'm done? Okay, I did it, I'm done. Thank God. Okay, y'all, I'm back from my exam, obviously. I was just laying down for like, I don't know, 2 hours, literally just watching YouTube videos as soon as I got back. I'm gonna get like freshened up, do my hair and my makeup as I get ready to go to dinner to celebrate me finishing my exam. So I'll talk to you all when I look a little bit better than this. I think that I'm definitely gonna do a podcast episode. Not that there was like that much that even happened, but like I said, I kind of want to reflect, I feel like, after I get my exam score, because my initial thoughts are kind of just like, I feel a little numb, a little kind of like, okay, it's over, like now what? Obviously I have to work on my primary application. I think I talked about this in the last vlog or previously, and I can talk about it more if you guys want, but the medical school application opened up the beginning of May. You could officially submit your MCAT application, I think it was like 3 or so days ago, so I'm going to get mine submitted as soon as possible, but I was just kind of like, I need to take my test first. So it's kind of interesting to be done with this thing, just really shifting gears. Obviously we're now entering a bit of a waiting season. I find it to be a little bit easier to wait for your MCAT score, because as far as I'm concerned, I've got a 528 on the MCAT, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, you can think positively. I'm not sure how it went. I hope it was great. I believe God will pull through. I'm trying to compare it to the times where I've like scored better on my practice exams, and I'm like, how did I feel after the sections? Do I feel that way this time, like for this section or this section? Like, what do I think overall? Like I'll be very curious to know what my score is. And I think it's really hard when you take practice exams and you're able to see the score right away, and then like you're just not able to see your scores. So I don't know how I did. I just pray that I did better and that what I did was enough. But I'm gonna freshen up because I'm tired of looking like this, and we'll talk a little bit later. All right, y'all, good morning. Happy Sunday. I'm on my way to church this morning, but I had to come on because I said I was going to talk to you all before I went to dinner, but I was laying in the bed and then I had to like rush and get ready, and then the lighting in here and blah blah blah, excuses. I am just going to end the vlog because I want to, like I mentioned, kind of talk about it once I get all of my thoughts together. And I feel like in a podcast episode, especially once I have my score back, will be the best articulation of exactly, not even just how I'm feeling, but just like my thoughts about this process overall. To give you guys a quick review of like just what my test day experience was like, I honestly have no complaints. As I've mentioned, I've literally been to this is my third time taking the MCAT at this testing center, but there were still things that were different. Like I was obviously at a different computer, I had a different proctor, I was in a different room. Like they have like 3 different rooms and I was in a different one this time. Even I feel like the rules were a little bit different because like where we ate lunch at was different than where we ate before, but then there were things that were familiar, like I knew where the bathroom was. Overall, my experience went well. There wasn't a time where I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't have any crash outs, I didn't have any panic attacks. I kept myself very calm the entire time. I feel like the Chem Phys section, I feel good about it. Yeah, there wasn't anything that was like a big red flag or that I freaked out or anything like that. My timing was great for the Chem Phys section as well. I think I finished exactly with like 2 minutes, and then I went over all of my flagged questions. Cars went pretty okay. One of my last passages was really difficult for me to understand, but otherwise I was doing really well with a lot of the passages. But the last one, I remember being like, ooh, I don't know about this one, but it's okay because if I did well on all the other ones and I just, leave one passage, that's fine. And I did run out of time on that passage in regards to like the answer choices, so it's like a complete one wash for a passage, which is not, the best case scenario, but you can still do well with that being the case, so I'm not trying to let it freak me out. I feel like biochem was the section that I feel the least confident in, which is unfortunate because I think out of the two, well, they're all sciences, but between Chem Phys and biochem, I normally do better in biochem, and I normally feel better about biochem, but I didn't feel as confident. Sorry, my car is valet. Yesterday when I went out to dinner, I was so late. Where's my tissue? My nose is running. I was so late because it took my valet 20 minutes to come. So while I was still doing my makeup, I just called my valet because I didn't want to be standing outside for too long. I feel like I feel like my Chem Phys section had a lot of orgo. I feel like there weren't a lot of gimme questions like, oh, okay, I know exactly what this is like kind of testing me on biochem. And I feel like I'm able to be like, oh, I know what this is testing. And sometimes, like for example, amino acids, if they say something and you're like, oh, I know that they're talking about an alcohol here, or they are looking for amino acid that's non-polar here or whatever, or you see something in a passage and then you highlight it because they're going to ask a question later, and you see and you be like, boom, I knew that y'all was going to ask this. I didn't feel like I had enough of those. I just put on my lip gloss. I feel like I have stuff all over my teeth, and there's nothing worse than sitting down and talking to the camera and then editing it back and being like, you had something on your teeth here. I'm like, okay, focus. I can't remember the specific passage in question, and I'm not supposed to be talking about the details anyway, but I do remember there was one amino acid question, and I was like, I don't know the answer to this. And it's not because I don't know my amino acids, and it's not because I don't know my polar versus non-polar, it's not because I don't know the side chains, it's not because I can't remember what it was, but it was something that I was like, I know this is an amino acid question, and I know that because of the information I know about amino acids, I'm supposed to be able to answer this question, but for some reason the content that I have is not lining up with like the answer choices or something, and that would happen in other cases as well. There wasn't a lot of like endocrinology, biology. I feel like there was a lot of biochemistry, so a lot of like pathways and not a lot of like systems. I think I got like one cardio question and one digestive question, and those were both like discrete, and that's just what I can remember. It really is kind of a blur. Psych Soc, I'm also not sure. I actually really want to Google one of these terms I was thinking about, like one of my last questions. Charisma authority. I was like, what the heck is charisma authority? A type of authority that derives its legitimacy from the personal qualities of an individual leader. This authority is based on the belief that the leader possesses exceptional qualities such as heroism, sanctity, or exemplary character, which inspire loyalty and key obedience from followers. Okay, that's a term that I didn't know, and I remember one of my questions was about that, and I kept switching back and forth because like the answer choices were kind of like examples, and that's also hard because then you have to like not imply but apply the term to the situation. And I was between something where it was like a mom chooses their child, like who they're going to marry, and then like a doctor choosing a medication for their patient, and I chose the doctor one, which I believe is the right answer. So I remember one of the passages was so strange. In her home, and she was writing a paper, and she blah 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 blah, and it was dark outside, so she ran outside and she saw, and I was like, what type of psych-social passage is this? Like, it was like a campfire story. I was like, this doesn't even seem like it was like no like study 1, study 2 experiment. But then the question that it asked was about like the cones and rods and the eyes, and like the kids were knocking on her door, like, what do you call it? Not a hit and run, but whatever. And I was like, this is such a weird passage. Like, I've never had a passage like this before. There was also a specific like question type that I remember. I was like, I've actually never seen a question like this for a practice, and I wish I could tell you. It's gone. I'm sorry. You're probably gonna be like, that's right, you should have done it yesterday. I'm sorry. My immediate feelings afterwards was kind of just like numb, like shock. I was like, it's over. I finished my psych-social section, it's always so hard to say, with about 12 minutes left. So I was able to go through all of my flags, and I really didn't want to change a bunch of my answers at the end, but just wanted to double check. And like, for example, that question I did end up changing it to, and I think I changed it to the right answer. So I feel okay about psych-soc. I've had worse feelings about it, so now is the waiting period. And I was just thinking while I was getting ready this morning, where I'm like, there's faith that you need to start something hard, and then there's faith that you have to have believe that all of your hard work is going to manifest while you wait for it to manifest. What was so hard about studying, for so long is that I had already done the hard thing of starting, but then I was in the middle of this hard thing without any, and so now it's like another hard season, in a sense. It's another faith season. So yeah, I'll be waiting for my score. I'm very curious to see what it's going to be, because obviously that's going to determine and impact how I move about this application cycle. But in my next video, I'll be showing you guys how I, prepare and probably submit my primary application, because I have everything ready. And I'm still waiting for some counselors to review some things. Hopefully within the next week, I'll submit my primary application, and then we wait. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I'm trying to be very careful with my words, because I know that the power of life and death is in the tongue, and so I don't want to speak prematurely negative over my life or my situation. It has been a journey. I can't believe it's over. Never expected to take the MCAT 4 times. I'm also going to be praising God in advance for seeing me through, keeping my mind, and I will update you guys as I have updates, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to live each day to the fullest, because you only live once. Bye.